Hi. A very good morning to all. I'm Lian Chang, the Assistant Secretary of the Kwong Lee Clan Association, and I'm pleased to welcome you to this very special talk by Lynn Wong. Okay, these are extraordinary times. Due to increase in the COVID-19 cases in the community, we have to cancel 3 other events at our clan house as part of the SHF. Originally, we had planned for this talk to be held at the clan as well. Fortunately, thanks to Lynn, we managed to adapt it into a webinar and reach out to more participants. In the clan's 147-year history, we have survived World War II and changes to our city and neighborhood. We have also survived the pandemic, and we will continue to organize events for our members as well as members of the rest of the community in Singapore. So this morning, you are in for a treat as Lynn will share her personal story and active involvement in clan association since her teenage years. As you have seen from the video just now, Lynn is truly a woman of Chinese culture and heritage, and her passion and dedication in clan association has been awarded and recognized as she was conferred the Outstanding Clan Youth Award in 2016. So I hope you will enjoy the talk. And over to you, Lynn.
Thanks, Yan Chang, for the kind introduction. And thank you, Kwong Lee Clan Association, for inviting me for this talk, this sharing. And hello, everyone. It's Lynn here. And I would like this session to be interactive. Okay, so do turn on your cameras and be ready to participate, because I do see a number of you have your cameras off. I have 3 screens here, by the way. So yeah, turn on your cameras, right? Because let's have some participation, right? So thank you very much for turning on your cameras. Great, yeah, wonderful. I love to see all your faces. Yeah, because I guess now with this virtual thingy, we try to make it as in person as possible. So first up, I'd like to congratulate every single one of you here. You know why? Okay, so before I tell you why, I'd like to invite everyone, okay, to put out your fists in the air like this, okay? Okay, let's do this. Okay, thank you for participating. Yeah, okay, repeat after me. We are part of making history, okay? We are part of making history. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. Yes, why do I say so? Okay, so initially, right, as Yan Chang just shared, this event was supposed to be live in person at the Clan Association. But as you all know, physical large events had to be cancelled. And hence, I was proposing to Yan Chang, why don't you have this as an online event instead? And I'm glad we did. So you, my friends, right now you're attending the first ever public online event this clan has ever organized. Okay, so round of applause to all of you. Okay, and just to share with you all, like this event, I mean, this clan association is more than 100 years old. So don't you think you're making history, right? In the clan more than 100 years old history, you're part of this. So I would like to quickly acknowledge all of you for being here. I know you took out time from your busy schedule, and so I would like to do everything I can in my power to make it well with time. So to begin with, let me know in the chat, okay, how many of you have been to a clan association before? Okay, type 1 if you have been to a clan, and if you have not, or you do not know what it is. Okay, once, okay. A lot of my friends. Who else? More participation. Okay, 2. Okay, 2. Cool. Okay. Any more responses? I think we have around 40 of us here. Because I like to really have a gauge of who is this as well, so I can cater to everyone. Okay, so I think the rough sense we have is probably it's 70-30. Okay, okay. So for you, okay, so regardless of whether you have a prior knowledge about clan associations, my goal is that by the end of this event, you will gain new perspective of these institutions, and many of which have histories that are longer than Singapore's independence. And I would like to help demystify what clan associations are for you, and somewhat, like pull open the curtains to see what's within, because a lot of times people pass by and do not really know, right? And so whether you are totally new to clan associations, how can you too, like many other youths who have interacted with me, embark on this journey to discover your own roots? Or if you have already been in a clan association, how can you deepen this relationship and tap on opportunities that clan hold in expanding your world, right? And possibly finding fulfillment and meaning that you want in life, okay? So does it sound good for you? Okay, thumbs up. Is it good for you all? Cool, thank you. Okay, so I'd like to share this journey on how I gained courage to go off the beaten track, find my life purpose, and also have been so blessed to have my work featured in newspapers like Straits Times, 联合早报, CHEN News Asia, CCTV in China, and all these platforms. So let me go on to my slides. Okay, let's see. Technology. Okay, share screen. I can do this. Wait, share screen. With sound, yes. Okay, cool. Can you see me? Okay, I need to position this thing so that it doesn't look too awkward for me. Okay. So for this sharing, I'll be doing something very intimate. I'll really take this as like an in-person kind of interaction. Okay. So I may be sharing some of my vulnerabilities, and I hope you will also be able to receive them with hope and heart. Okay. So there's one thing that most people do not realize, especially now when they hear that I've been, hold on, there's a sound somewhere. I think we need to mute someone, is it? Hold on. Yan Chang, can you help out with that? Yan Chang, can you hear the sound? Is it distracting for everyone of you? If not, I will just continue with that. Okay, because that sounds quite distracting for me. Okay, anyway, yeah, so most people do not realize that I too, like many clans, like many youths, do not really know what clan associations are in the first place. And to be exact, I've never even heard of this term clan associations until I was 15 years old, right? Not too young and not too old, right? And my parents are, and none of my relatives are in clans. And my entry point to clans, as many of you might know, is through martial arts. So this is me. So since young, I really enjoyed watching kung fu movies like Wong Fei Hong, and that's way before Ip Man was popularized, right? And then, in fact, I was so interested in martial arts that I asked my parents to bring me to community centers to see, is there something I can learn? So I went there, but then somehow something seems to be missing for me. I don't really know what was that. Okay, so it was until this thing happened to me. Okay, so it was the end of my third year of high school, and then was doing this 3 months immersion. Okay, and I was introduced to this traditional Chinese martial arts as an extra curriculum kind of program. So what I found out was that the instructors did not really teach just martial arts, like the physical aspects of it, but they emphasized greatly on the history and also the cultural elements behind it. So let me give you a quick, like a traditional Chinese martial arts 101 to let you help understand what I mean. Okay, so what you see here now, this is a series of, it's a sequence of a routine that we have at the very start of our martial arts. So the style of martial arts that I practice is called Hong Da Quan. So Hong Jia Quan. So this is the one for my school. Okay, so what we have is this sequence, and I would like to highlight to you one particular move. Okay, this one in the middle. This one is called 美人照镜. Okay, this is the actual name of the stance. Okay, 美人照镜, maiden looking into the mirror. Okay, why? I mean, isn't this a masculine kind of martial arts? Why is there this 美人照镜, maiden looking in the mirror, right? So we have to understand the significance behind it, and the context in which this art forms were created. Okay, so this traces back to the Qing dynasty, right? There was this fire that was set on the Shaolin temple. Yeah, Shaolin temple is true. Yeah. Okay, so they say Nan Shaolin. So there's the southern Shaolin temple was burnt. And then there was this disciple, okay, he's called Hong Xiguan. He fled, and he was an unordained monk, unordained disciple, right? So 俗家弟子, what we call it. Yeah, so then this was created, and then it was really to revolt against the Qing dynasty. So if you look at history, before the Qing was the Ming, and during the Ming dynasty, we are majority ethnically like Han Chinese, right? And then the Qing dynasty, the rulers were Manchurians. So as with any group, any society, right? If your community is being oppressed, right? You will want to revolt, and that's what happened. And this sequence, it's like an embodied knowledge of how many revolutionaries have practiced this, and when they do this, there's this hidden meaning and this sort of comfort within them to motivate them to do something for their country. So 美人照镜, maiden look in the mirror. What does it mean? Look into the mirror, see who you are. So if you're Han Chinese, then the next step, you have the responsibility to spread martial arts, or maybe this ideology of fine and white. Okay, and then there's this last move that many practitioners would do, and many lay people might also see, but do not understand the meaning behind it. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so the feast, okay, the right feast represents Ri, right, the sun, and then the left palm, that is the Yue, the moon. So when you put it together, okay, it's Ming, the Chinese character Ming, which means brightness, right? And it is also a pun on the Ming dynasty, right? So in this sense, this simple action means a lot. It means a revolution against the Qing dynasty and to regain the Ming dynasty. Okay, so this is just a hidden symbol, and there's many other iterations of what does it mean. Some people say it is 五湖四海皆兄弟. It means like across the seas and lands, we are all brothers. Or maybe some people might say that, you know, the right fist, right, is more of like something you want to punch someone, right? It's like a symbol of power and might. But then the Chinese, we like to be humble, so we will cover the feast, right? We do not reveal the feast. It's only when someone does us injustice, and that's when we will show the fist. Okay, so there's a lot of meanings behind just this simple move, right? I'm only at this like beginning of the set, right? So there's many hidden symbols hidden within martial arts itself, and so that's really what intrigued me and made me want to learn more. And so the 3 months immersion program, of course, as you know, doesn't seem enough for me. And so that's when the instructors say that, okay, do you want to come back to the clan and then you can learn more from there? Say, yes, of course, right? And so that's when I started to understand, okay, so what I had been searching for was meaning, right? Meaning behind all these histories that maybe, you know, we learn usually our histories through textbooks, right? You know, like usually, I don't know, for me, history wasn't really the most exciting topic, right? It's only when it's contextualized or made into a different way of expression, and then you realize that, oh, okay, history is so interesting and it's very much embedded in our daily lives, right? So that brings me to the clan. So this is my clan. The first clan that I joined is called 公招为棍, Guangzhou Huiguan, founded in 1840. It's on New Bridge Road, or what the seniors would call 大马路, the 大坡二马路. Okay, so if you, I mean, for the youngsters, then it's like Outram Park MRT from the purple line, come out, exit H, that's the clan, okay, 5 minutes away. So maybe just the preamble, maybe like a quick 101 of what clan associations are, so that at least everyone is more in line. So basically, Singapore, as we all know, is a migrant country. So our forefathers arrived from different lands, right? And they rely on each other for support, right? So in a foreign land, so what will you want, right? You want someone to comfort you, you know, you want someone who's of your kin, someone from your same hometown, who speak the same tongue. right? And so these clan associations were set up for that purpose, right? And they serve very much like an embassy, okay, to help people to find jobs, find a place to stay, get news of what's happening in the hometown in China, or even celebrate festivals together, right? Maybe what is lesser known is that during tough times, these clans also provided like free medication, porridge to those in need, regardless of race or religion. Okay, so we must always remember that clan associations is not really just China kind of thing. It's localized and it's part of our society, and they also contribute to the society as well. And they also started free schools, and even girls could get an education. So I think Gongzhou Weikun, we had our free school in 1929. So it's pretty early. So clan associations was the heart of Chinese community back then. Okay, so maybe just to also give your context, because there are many clans that I'll introduce to you along the way in this session. So I don't want to confuse you, but there are a few categories. So this clan is considered a locality-based clan. Okay, locality means it's based on where you are, where this community come from. So let me use this laser pointer. Okay, so you can see from this image here. So this is gate of Gongzhou Weikun. You can see Gongzhou, these words. Okay, these two words. So Gongzhou, if you try to Google it today, you can't really find it. Okay, why? No, it's just like in the past how Singapore was called Temasek, right? So you cannot really Google and find Temasek and where's Temasek kind of thing. So same thing. So Gongzhou, it's today known as in a sense Xinhui. Okay, Xinhui. And that's where you can see the couples. Okay, so maybe to show you a map, that'd be clearer. Okay, so this is a map of China. Okay, and then of course this is Guangdong here. So if I expand it, you'll see that Guangdong province itself, there is also the Hakkas, there's also the Teochews, right? And also from the Hokkiens as well. So when you say Guangdong people, like who do you mean? Okay, so for this presentation, I'll refer mainly to the Cantonese. Okay, when I say Guangdong, okay, I mean Cantonese people. Okay, and I think what's important is also to highlight, what I try to bring out from this session is also to highlight that we're definitely more than CMIO. Okay, the Chinese, Malay, Indian, others. And within the Chinese, we have different dialect groups. And within the same dialect group, in that sense, if I use it very loosely, dialects, there's also different districts, very distinct districts. So where Gongzhou is from this place today called Jiangmen. Okay, that's the locality. So this river here, this is the Pearl Delta River, if you've heard of that. Okay, so I remember I mentioned about Gongzhou is being the old name, right? And it's very interesting for history, right? Because it's similar to in Singapore, we have these GRCs, and then there's the different zonings, and it will change with different political eras kind of thing. The same for China, okay? Same thing. So Gongzhou in the past used to refer to a greater area, and it is a home to many Kung Fu legends we know of today. Let me highlight to you. Okay, so this is a map of what we call Gongzhou. Okay, so this is the maps. Okay, so let me just highlight to you. Okay, so maybe you know this Li Xiaolong, ZHOU. So this is Bruce Lee's hometown. Okay, Bruce Lee. Okay, yeah, the Hong Kong movie star. Yes, Bruce Lee. Okay, now we all are familiar with Ye Wen. Okay, Ye Wen, Yongchun Ye Wen. That his hometown is in Foshan. Okay. Maybe for the older folks, you all might know Bai He Pai, this Guan Dakheng, right? He's very famous movie star, Hong Kong movie star, and he used to act as Hong FEIHUNG. Okay, and then also just highlight also another legend is Cai Li Fo, Choi Lei Fat, martial arts style. That will be Chen Xiang's Guju. That's ancestral hometown is in Xinhui as well. And then, of course, my idol, in a sense, Huang FEIHUNG. His ancestral hometown is in Siew, Xiqiao. Okay, so you can see there's so many things happening just within this Gongzhou. Yeah, so it's really the hometown of a lot of legends. Yeah, so when I joined Gongzhou, I also get to really visit all these places and know them, interact with them with more intimately. So this is a picture of a usual scene of what would happen like when we go overseas, right? You can see a lot of people dragging the suitcases, and then you will have this lion head. Someone will bring the drum and everything. Oh yeah, and we'll bring weapons. Yeah, I mean weapons meaning the Chinese martial arts weapons, right? Because we need to perform. Just to share one very fun fact. So okay, it's not an issue for us to come from Singapore to China with all this barang, okay? But it's an issue for us to go back to Singapore, even though we're Singaporeans. Okay, the fun thing is that there was once when the airplane refused to fly for 2 hours because they were wondering, what is this group of people? There's the elderly, there's the young, and then there's the middle-aged women and men, and then with all these weapons, who are these people? Right, so when we came back to Singapore, we had to go through a special lane, and then even though we have this police permit and everything to say that we are certified to bring all these weapons, it's good. Singapore's security is good. So we have to collect all weapons at the police Cantonment Road police station after that. So it's fine. Yeah, so it's just a very interesting aspect of growing up in the clan. Yeah, so this is some experiences we have, and then we get to, of course, as if when you're a child, you go traveling. I mean, you will go do the usual things like shopping, and then we go to hot springs. We love hot springs a lot. We will play there. And then with camping, sightseeing, training, of course, performing. So my first ever overseas excursion, in some sense, or is an eye opener. So we went back to FEIHUNG'S ancestral hometown. So this is where I introduced you just now, right? Siew. So then, so you can see FEIHUNG. This is the Huangshi Zhongci. So this is this ancestral hall. And then we also get to perform there. So I don't know, like, imagine as a youngster, I think I was 206. So that was, I don't know, how old was I? Oh, that's only one, yeah, but only about, I think 16, 17. Yeah, so it's like finally you go back to the place where this martial arts was sort of popularized kind of thing. After that, I also had a chance, and I went to Chen Xiang's ancestral hometown. So there's also Xin Hui, so the toilet fight grandmaster. I was there twice. So the first time I was with the clan to go for this competition, the toilet fight competition, and then the second time I went with Gong Zhao in 2011 to on this summer camp. And I have a few friends here who I met also during the summer camp, and still continue friends here now. Yep. And after that, 2012, went to ZHOU ancestral hometown. So if anyone here practices ZHOU CHEN, this is the hometown, and they had this opening ceremony, and our clan chairperson was also there to initiate this opening ceremony as well. So you can see, like, being in the clan is not just Singapore itself, but also you get to go overseas and explore. Yeah, so it's a huge event. And then of course just now you watched the video. This was at FEIHUNG'S ancestral hometown again in 2014 when we went as a team, and we won a number of awards. Okay, so just now I showed you how I sort of got to know about clans through this martial arts element. So I'd like to also share with you some of the very important festivals that we have every year. And a lot of these festivals are also celebrated in a number of clan associations. You will see some similarities. Okay, so let me show you a video. Because I believe like videos or even pictures tell 1,000 words better than me describing it. Okay, so I'll just show you some snippets of it. I'll just fast forward a bit. So basically, we are now at the Bishan Ting. That's where we have our ancestral, our ancestors are sort of placed at in the calendar. Then we will all go to this. First stop will be the Kwong temple, okay, to pay respects to the earth deity. And then we will make offerings. Okay, just fast forward because there's a lot I want to show you. Okay, so we pour the wine, the tea. Okay. Whoa. We'll move on to the Kwong temple, the second stop. So, every time we go to these ancestral venerations, we have a particular sequence that we have. Yeah, and you notice that the rituals are said in Cantonese, right? Yeah. Okay. So then after that, we will bow. Okay. Now to come in again to pay respects. So you can see it's a very lively event. Okay. And we'll pay respects to Kwong. And then after that, lions will split up to go to the two sides of the temple. Okay. And then one of it will be to this monkey god. And this monkey god is from the Guangfu Miao. So for the older generation, you all know Guangfu Miao. And now there is non-existent anymore. Okay, then we go to Qijunzi Ting, the 7 gentlemen pavilion. And then after that, this is what we call the She Gong. So it's basically like a earth deity governing the cemetery. Okay, so we'll pour wine and everything. And next stop will be the Bodhisattva of Great Vow. Okay, respects there. And then finally, we go to the columbarium, right? Finally, right? So after, it's a long sequence. Yeah, always wishing for good luck and also like good health. Yeah, I would say for the Cantonese, one whole roast pork is very important, right? It's like a must. The 3 sacrificial meats and then the fruits. Yeah, and also we have a number of these things, what we call like the columbariums. We have a number of them, and these are reserved for our clan because our clan is part of 16 clan associations. That is part of the committee for presenting. Yeah, and then we have lion dance, and then sometimes we also have martial arts performance as well. Yeah. Okay, and then we will have this victory call, or like the home. It's like a returning home kind of a call, right? So we'll go back to Chinatown, and then we will like do the drums, and then a lot of tourists like this. Yeah. Homecoming. Yeah, so that is basically that. And when we reach home, then we will pay respects to our clan. Yeah, so this is like a very quick summary of what our spring and autumn ancestral veneration celebrations are. I think most people would know them as Qingming and Chongyang festival, but for most of the Cantonese clans, we call it as 春秋二季. This is one of the main events because very importantly, one of the values that we hold is paying respects to our ancestors and our forebearers. Okay, and also at the very end of this festival, something that all of us look forward to is the cutting of the blessed meats. Yeah, then I always go to the kitchen and then like, can I? Then I'll like take the good bits kind of thing. It's a very fun thing. Everyone will just chip in and then like just eat together from this common plate. So it's a very, very something I look forward to, and I miss quite a bit now. Okay. Another major festival we have will be the Mid-Autumn Festival. Okay, and you can see that it's not just locals, right? Not just the clan members itself that get to enjoy it, but it's also for the public. So even like tourists can also come in to get a free lantern, and then we have this like guessing of the lantern reader guessing kind of thing. But of course, ours is a bit grander, and I think it's best I show you a video to show how is it grand. Yeah, so then we have the parade. Okay, we'll walk around Bukit Paso. Yeah. And then this time around, in 2017, we have a very special one. We brought our dragon out. Yeah, you can see a lot of the youngsters as well. So I must fast forward a bit more. So you can look at our dragon. Our dragon is very special. It's very different from other dragons out there because you can see there are many segments, and each segment you notice, these are fire. It's real flame. Okay, it's real fire flame. So it burns, the whole thing will burn. Okay, so also very careful. and this particular dragon has a very important meaning for Kwong itself. Okay, it's been in existence since the Song Dynasty, the end of Song Dynasty. Yeah, so we get to enjoy. Yeah, so not just the young, but also the very young, right? So something that we get to enjoy in the clan. Yeah. So, and to mention also, this particular Mid-Autumn Festival was very, very special for me because usually we do not bring out our dragons. Usually we do not bring. It's only very, very important festivals. So this time round, they brought it out because I had a special request to the clan. Because I wanted to shoot a documentary film about one particular food from our clan association. So, and then part of the story was about this dragon. So then I requested what the clan said, can we bring out our dragon? And I'm very glad, so they really refurbish everything, so I get to film also how they make the dragon and then bring it out to this festival. So it was a very important kind of a festival for me. Okay, another one. Okay, so for our clan association, we have a Kwan temple. Okay, the Kwan temple is on the 4th floor. So I'm not sure if you know that quite a number of clan associations in Singapore started out first as temples. Okay, so it's only after that when it started to become a social gathering place that it became a clan. But of course, not all clans follow this narrative. Okay, so but for Gong Zhao Wei Kun, this is the narrative. We had the Kwan temple first. Okay, then after that the clan. So you can see it's a huge event. We will have the Taoist priest will be sort of here to bless all the items, because at night we'll have this auction party. Okay, so you'll see all the clan members just gathering around, and then it's not just within the temple here, it also extends into the rooftop. So we have to like put a tent outside to ensure that no one has heat stroke. Right, so this is in the afternoon. Okay, and then everyone, the committee members will get to take turns to kneel before Kwan Ti to pay respects and then get individualized blessings, if you can say. And also, okay, I didn't say Kwan Ti for to just give your introduction. Kwan Ti is basically the second of the three brothers in the Romance of Three Kingdoms. So there's a Liu Bei, Guan Yu, Zhang Fei. So it's the second one, and he is known as the god of war or the god of literature, but most people venerate him because of his sense of righteousness, right? So you see him also in like police stations and also in secret societies. But okay, he is well venerated in that sense. Okay, and then this picture at below, this is at a night where we do this auction dinner, and I'm not sure if you can see. Okay, we have this little lanyards, and then below that, we have this we call it PP, so the whistle. Okay, so what do we do with the whistle? Okay, so basically, the auction dinner is actually a way for the clans to raise funds. Okay, this is at least for Kwong Zhao. So we'll have a lot of tables, and then if someone's like put a bid, they want to bid for an item, then we will be stationed at tables and then to sort of assist everyone and say, okay, yeah, you want to bid? Okay, we bid, and then we get the attention of the auctioneer. So it's very interesting. Of course, during the event, I guess most of you here will be sort of also familiar with Yam Seng, this Yam Seng culture in Singapore, right? We'll toast, we give a toast. There's this particular Yam Seng that we have in the Cantonese clan, and it's quite unique. So I'd like to also share with you all, so you all can take a look. Okay. So I'll just skip to this part. Let's see. Okay, so initially it's the normal yamsing. Okay, the normal yamsing. Yeah, so you drag as long as you can, right? Because the longer you drag, that means more luck, more health, good health and stuff like that, right? Okay, the third one. Okay, wishing everyone good health, everything smooth sailing, and then a blessed family. There's this song that we will sing. Can anyone tell me, like, where is this restaurant? Like, which restaurant is this? You can type in the chat. Where do you think is it from? where is it in? Okay. Yes, exactly. Yes, correct. Red Star. Right. So, I'm not sure if you noticed, a lot of the clans, Cantonese clans will like to hold our banquets in Red Star. Okay. Why? Because we like to help each other out, right? So one of the heavenly kings who founded Red Star is from Sam Sui Wei Gun, one of another Cantonese clan. So we will support. Okay, and then of course, I mean, there's nice food. Why not, right? Okay, so there's a Guanti festival. Okay, and another one. Okay, Chinese New Year. Of course, we all know that Chinese New Year is very important for Chinese, and it's particularly for the Chinese clan associations. So it'll be a very long one for me. Like it's not long in the sense of like the boring kind of long, but it's more of it's action packed. Okay, one whole full Chinese New Year, like 15 days, right? Almost every day is packed. Okay, why? Starting from the New Year's Eve. Okay, New Year's Eve, right? We usually all of our individual respective families will have their own reunion dinners, and then we'll report back to the clan at 10 p.m. or sorts, right? And then someone will come up with a whole box of oranges from the fridge, and then all of us will start taking out our markers. Okay, and then we take the orange, and guess what we're gonna write? Guess what we're gonna write? Type in the chat. What do you think you're gonna write? What? Not really what. What else? What else? Something related. What else? We write 4-digit numbers. Okay, yeah, 4-digit numbers, and where it's gonna be used? Let me show you the video. And you see everyone like just holding up their hands, wanting to get something. Yeah, so they're waiting for the oranges that we wrote the lucky numbers. Okay, yeah, so that is something we look forward to as kids as well. You know, when the firecrackers are like lit up in the main part of Chinatown, and then we will start doing this lion dancing, right? So and then the kids are sort of involved in every aspect. You can think of it. Okay, either playing the cymbals, playing the gong, doing the drums, doing lion dance. Yeah. And then that's only the eve, right? We also have at night, we also have like the usual like CHEN, right? Because that's also one of the main ways the clan sort of gets its income. So that is, we will have this big lorry with the red flags and then getting ready to go and give people the New Year blessings, right? Yep, and also you can see we have a spread that is during either like 初五 or 初15. So a particular day in the Chinese lunar calendar, and then we have what they call the 新年团拜, so the Chinese New Year sort of like a reunion for the clan members, and then we have a spread. And then of course we have lion dance, sightseeing. So really the 15 days is quite packed for most of us growing up. Okay, yeah. One more important festival, of course, for this clan association would be our anniversary. And for Gongzhou Weikun, we have what we call the 大庆 and 小庆. So 大庆 means a big celebration and 小庆 means small celebration. But of course, our small celebration is also not considered small, right? Because we have 3 days of celebration. The first night will be Cantonese opera, and then the second night will be martial arts, lion dance, dragon dance, and then the third night will be a dinner banquet. Sometimes the youth will have to do something on that day, kind of thing. So I'd like to show you a particular video that was back during our clan anniversary, the 169th anniversary. So that is in 2009. So that's quite a way back. So let's see how have I grown. Yeah, so that's my in a sense sparring partner, right? She grew up with me, so she's like my sister. Yeah, so that's back in 2009, and I'm not sure if you know, I'm actually an introvert. So every performance, I mean, even till now, I'll get very nervous, right? So I take it as an opportunity for me to grow, right? We always need to do things that are uncomfortable for us, right? Like doing martial arts like this. Okay, and then of course we have the dragon, and also this is like our family kind of thing, like it's nice to have a big family, especially now when we stop at 2 kind of thing. Yeah, and of course the clan also brought out the feminine side of me. So can you imagine, so to be frank with you, I don't really speak Cantonese. I can't really speak Cantonese even though I'm Cantonese. It's something I'm trying to learn as well, but I would never have imagined that I would have the chance to perform Cantonese opera, and not just perform Cantonese opera, but also with like very important and prominent people. Like for instance, this person, okay, is Ouyang Bingman, Ouyang Bingman. So he is actually like the Hong Xin-lui's disciple. So Hong Xin-lui. So if someone is in the opera field, they will know that Hong Xin-lui is like the Yi kind of opera singer. So it's fascinating that the clan also gave such an opportunity. Yeah, so that's something I'm really grateful for. And you see, I get to cosplay as a male as well. Male, female, whatever. Okay, so of course, what I've just said, this is all in hindsight, right? But do you know that when I was in my teens, I actually felt embarrassed whenever I have to share with others that I'm involved in the clan, right? I mean, can you imagine, like, okay, just share with me, at your age, what will you be doing? What will you be doing on a Friday night? Right? What will you usually be doing? Share in the chat. Friday nights, you are a youngster, maybe you are like 19, 18, go cinema with friends, yeah? Maybe you go clubbing, maybe you go, I don't know, karaoke, Netflix or bar, yeah? Yeah. So, it's just very, very weird. Netflix with Jade. Okay. Yeah. So, it just, when you're young, you just do not want to be like this weirdo doing things differently from others. And I was already sort of like a weirdo to begin with in that sense, because I was taking language elective program, studying Chinese literature, and then like studying old texts like Hong Lo Meng, Dreams of the Red Chamber. Right? So, so do you agree that, then it just feels like a total oddball to tell people like, I cannot go out with you to cinema tonight because I'm going to the clan, So there's this really period of time when I felt passionate about something that I really want to do, but I kept it mostly to myself, right? Except for maybe of my close friends. Yeah, so it's like, just now I was sharing with you all these very cool experience I felt, like going to the grandmaster's ancestral hometown and stuff like that. But at the same time, I also felt like I do not want to be rejected by people who do not seem to know or understand this world, right? And of course, there's another part of my life whereby, this shoes really represents a lot to me, and I'll tell you a bit. You make sense of it later. So it's something that many people might not be able to wrap their mind around. Is that actually the clan taught me all this martial arts for free, right? Because usually when they write into the clan Facebook, I'll be the one responding. Then they'll be asking, I'm interested to join martial arts. And then what's the cost fee? And then sometimes I'm like, should I say or should I not say? Because usually when people think of free, there's this connotation. It's like, if it's free, is it good? But I got awards, right? And it's like champion, right? So it's not about bragging, but what I'm trying to highlight to you is that these clans, they teach for free, yes, but it's good stuff. Okay, we can become world class level with that as well, right? Because the whole clan functions on a different kind of model that is maybe different from what we are used to in this modern society, right? We always think that it's generally in the world, right, it's transactional, right? But then clans is really based on a model of relationship, right? So this is something that a lot of people cannot really wrap their mind around, but I really appreciate it a lot. Right? Because as I shared with you, I'm not really, Xinhui is not my ancestral hometown, right? But they treated me like family, okay? And this is really based on the Chinese virtue of 饮水思源, right? Drinking water and remembering its source. So they learned from the masters for free, and then now they're continuing this practice. And then I too, when someone comes to me, I'll teach for free as well, right? So it's really about this 传承, this continuity. And it's something very special I cannot find elsewhere in Singapore, other than clans. And yeah, this is something really I appreciated a lot growing up, because I grew up in a very traditional family, and I see my parents work very hard. And since my secondary school days, I've been working part-time. And then since then, I've been giving them a monthly allowance. But then something terrible happened. When I was in uni, my boss ran away. Okay, and owing me and also many other freelancers under me a large sum of money, okay, 6 digits. Okay, so I really felt very bad for these people, because they work hard for me, and yet because my boss cannot pay, and then it just feels very wrong for me. So then that time I took out 10K from my own account to pay for the losses. That's a huge sum for me back then, right? Even till now, it's still a big sum. But sometimes we just need to do what's right, what you feel is right. And so this was also the first time I had to stop giving my parents allowance after so many years. So this really, so this shoe actually shows, sort of like represents my it's a constant reminder of this predicament I have back then. Because as you see, the martial arts that we do, we rely a lot on, our footwork is important, and then our soles will get rubbed off very easily. So this is the kind of shoes that I had, and I really hate rainy days. I hate raining days. Why? I always had to skip the puddles because the water will just seep through, right? And then I'm always going for trainings and then just hoping that the shoe will just be able to withstand another training kind of thing. And now we think of it, shoe is not very expensive, right? But I could not afford to even pay like $10, $12 for this shoe. Yeah, so that's why I really feel deeply for a lot of these festivals that the clan held in the past, because it really gives me, like for instance, Chinese New Year, it really gives reunion a very deep meaning, right? For Chinese, right? Me being a very traditional Chinese, this tune, right? 鞋儿婆, 娃儿婆, right? Literally meaning like shoes are torn and socks are torn. This is something that is a taboo for Chinese New Year. It just feels terrible. But during Chinese New Year, I just have to survive with these broken shoes. But yeah, like something I'm really grateful for my clan till now. Yeah, so Chinese New Year is very special for me. And then a lot of my friends have been sharing me like, oh, they envy. How come I have this very clear vision of what I'm doing in life? But to be honest, right, it only became very crystal clear to me this few years. And actually, I had my calling way back. I was in junior college, but I didn't hit my calling, right? Because like back then there's this thing called project work, and then I and my friends, I managed to convince them like, okay, let's do this thing about how can we revitalize clan associations. Right? This is back in 2006. So the gist of the project was that we realized that this vicious cycle, right? Because I mean, the main issue for a lot of clans is that there's not enough young people, and hence the lack of succession, right? So you need more events and stuff like that to create this virtuous cycle instead. So we had a plan, right? There's action steps as well. But I didn't go all out to pursue it as a career, right? As with all pragmatic Singaporeans, right? You should go and have a career that is like, proven and tested, yeah. So I went on to study psychology, business, consumer behavior, nothing close to heritage, right? So, I mean, what were you think like back then? What will you do, right? Will you, even till now, will you pursue heritage as a career? Will you do one? Yeah, so later I had this opportunity to pursue a PhD. And so that's when I went for it. Because I believe in the power of business. Because business is then where you can create impact sustainably, right? And I still believe that. But after a while, it felt that having this academic position might not be what I want, right? To put in the context, when I was doing a PhD for about 4 to 5 years, I worked hard every day in, day out. I was the first in office at 7 a.m. and then the last to leave at 11:30 p.m. And then my only rest days are on Friday evenings for the martial arts or Sunday mornings also for martial arts. Okay. So that's like my only safe haven. So there was a point of time where I really dreaded waking up. Right? I no longer feel excited. And started questioning what am I doing in my life, right? But of course, don't get me wrong. PhD education was actually also one of my happiest moments. It's very ironic, right? The happiest and also the saddest. So, I mean, you get to interact with the bright minds, become a creator of knowledge. I also get to travel with my parents for Europe for an entire month. So, but what happened, right? My soul just felt a disconnect with what am I doing. I was good, but I was not great enough, right? Then I started to run on autopilot. I'm not sure if you've heard of this analogy, right? Like the frog in the boiling water. Okay, it's going to be gross, but let me illustrate the point and you get it. So if you put a frog in water and you increase the water temperature gradually, the frog will just stay inside and just die unknowingly, right? On the other hand, if you put a frog in boiling water, it will leak out immediately, right? So I was that frog, okay? I was dying slowly without me knowing, okay? And then at the same time, right, the call to me just gets louder and louder. Because as I got more involved, I realized that clan associations are dying, right? And this is the place that actually exposed me to my own roots and it's dying this slow death. So if you think about this picture, it tells a phenomenon that's happening across all clans in Singapore, many clans in Singapore. Generally, this is the general trend, right? You can take a look. The average age of the clan community is 70 years old, right? Anyone considered, anyone younger than 50 is considered a youth. Okay, so I'm a baby. Okay, that is a sad state. So, but of course, it's through this interactions with this association that I got to interact with 16 clans and visit all of them. Get to know more about what their challenges, what's their unique strengths, what's their situation like. At the same time, in my clan, for example, I also see the dying of traditional arts. Right. So if you remember my story, I came from River Valley High School during Sec 3. I mean, it's not just me alone who went through the training, right? There's so many of us, right? But how many is left? Okay. Over the years, we have over thousands of students coming in. How many is left? Me, one. Right. So I mean, this is the fact. This is the true state. So there's many factors, right? Numerous entertainment, this kind of stuff. And also like instant gratification. This is culture that's going on. And then, of course, not just that, but there's traditional crafts that are passed, there's this dying away as well. Like who can make this dragon, like this fire dragon, right? So this master, Mr. Feng. So I got to get in touch with him and really film his process of doing it. And to tell you, it's not anyone can go and video such things as well, right? It's a craft, and a lot of times it's passed from master to disciple. And in order for you to be able to video, they must have a lot of trust in you, right? So I'm glad I was able to win the trust. So I also witnessed the dying of festivals. I mean, there's this festival that I'm trying to revive. It's called the Seven Sisters Festival. Can you imagine, like in the past, Seven Sisters Festival is bigger than Chinese New Year in Singapore, and it disappeared. Phew, disappeared. Right? So I cannot believe it. I mean, how can a festival disappear? Right? This is ridiculous. And then, of course, rituals. Right? There's this particular ritual at the Bishan team. It's performed at maybe like in 5 years or once in every 8 years of sorts. It's irregular, and it basically is a breaking of hell ritual performed during the Hungry Ghost Festival, like the 7th lunar month. And it's really a ritual that conveys the values of filial piety, because the belief is that the deceased have, in order for them to receive salvation, they have to go through these rituals. Okay, so let me just show you a quick video, just like 5 seconds kind of thing. Yeah, so they jump through this fire not once, many times, and there's of course many other sequences to it. But can you imagine, like how long more can someone jump over a fire like that and not get hurt? Okay, so this is something, a ritual that is also passing, is slowly dying out. Okay, also vernacular languages. Okay, I mean, of course, I was also born in the bilingual policy, right? And then I only speak Mandarin and English. I cannot really speak my dialect. And why is this important? Why do we need to learn our vernacular languages? And what? So this picture, this is a maze. Okay, maze, if you do not know, is actually a domestic helper, and they usually come from Shunde, from Guangdong. But of course, there are many other ladies who came who came from other parts of Guangdong, and they call them mazes. But strictly speaking, mazes should only be from Shunde. But anyway, so she would be 100 years old by now. Okay, so she's not really, a lot of people who interviewed her before, they will say that she doesn't really like to speak. Okay, but the very reason, what is the reason? The reason is because they are not speaking the same language as her, that she's accustomed to. So people will think, oh, she's a Cantonese lady, right? Just speak to her Cantonese lah. But the thing is that, there's a lot of diversity in our languages, even within the Cantonese group. So she is from Donggun. So she speaks the Donggun dialect. Okay. So usually people will say that, oh, she's very quiet. But the thing was that when my teacher, he speaks excellent Donggun Wa, okay, he spoke to her and she chatted for like 2 hours. no joking, right? So it's wrong to say that she doesn't speak. She's not good at speaking. But anyway, yeah, so that'll be another story next time, because she revealed many personal stories that it's really unthinkable of our times. Yeah. Okay, so then what's my turning point? The turning point in my life that gave me the courage to finally hit this call of the calling in my life was the passing of my grandparents. So how many of you will agree that sometimes it takes that you need to lose something in life to start to begin to appreciate them, right? For me, it's this deep regret that I didn't know much about my grandparents more when they're still around, right? And then, we always have to give ourselves excuses and stuff like that, like it's next time thing. But it's only when my grandparents passed away that it became more salient to me, ever more salient to me, that there's so much things very important that is disappearing around me. And that's when I decided to take a gap year, right? Okay, so I'll start thinking, what can I do, right? What can I do? So you have to understand that before that, I've already been involved in the clan, And what we do very regularly is that we will have this open houses and educational excursions to the clan. So for instance, this is a picture of me with my friends from INSEAD. So the best thing of my life will be to bring them to my clan every Chinese New Year, and then bring them and let them know more about our culture in Singapore, right? And then these schools will come to us as well. So what more can I do then, since I'm already doing all this? How can we have a wider reach? And so that's when I decided that maybe I should do something more for the public, and that will be through food, right? And right, I mean, Singaporeans, we're all foodies, we love our food. So that's when I started doing this, reviving our forefathers' disappearing foods, using food as an entry point, right? And that's when get to work with 4 clans to revive 4 dishes that you cannot find really in the coffee shop or hawker center, right? This is a very different project for me because many of these dishes have disappeared for more than a generation, and the people who help to revive them are like 70, 80 years old. So during the project itself, in that 1 year, right, I have a chef who had a heart attack, and then it's cancelled. And then also I have another senior who promised me to help do something, and then 1 week prior to the event, he met in the accident and he died. So it's a difficult process lah. Okay, so actually I wanted to show you a short clip of the video now, but I think it will take some time. So I think I'll skip that first, and maybe if we have time, we'll come back to it later. Okay, let's skip this first. Okay, so okay, maybe I should just show you a short snippet. If not, you might not get what I mean. Okay, let's do this. I'll show you the ending part lah. Ending part.
跌出嚟，然後再收一收嗰啲種嘅端味。嗱，你哋睇清楚啊！我哋而家係用傳統嘅鹹水草紮果蒸粽哦，而唔係出邊賣嗰啲用拉啡繩嚟紮個。包好晒咧，你就攞個大鑊水攞去烚，烚果蒸粽都要10幾個鐘頭㗎。早期咧，新加坡高腰肇慶的家庭依照傳統嘅習俗啊，每逢新年前幾日都喜歡包果蒸粽，以祝福大家新年收入健康、豐豐盛盛、飽飽滿滿。但由於做果蒸粽要花好番功夫，所以咧而家少見又少見到呢種傳統嘅美食。
我听几位老爷爷说，他们有超过20年都没吃果蒸粽了，更何况是自己亲手包呢。这次真是让他们回味无穷。
Okay, can anyone tell me what's special about this red stem down here? You all notice something? Like this red stem that I put down here. Can you identify what it is? You want to type in the chat? Let me see if anyone can get it right. Does it look something similar? Okay, I'll just disclose answer. So, shade of hometown or something, shade of district. No. Okay, let me show you the next picture. Maybe you see. Okay, so you see all these pictures? It's the same stem. What do you think it is? I mean, you definitely know. No, not Guangdong. Where's this? Where's this? Yes, Singapore. Yes. So why do I want to do this, right? I mean, what I'm trying to show is that we have a lot of different ethnicities within Singapore as well. And when they bring over their hometown, ancestral hometown foods, they also become localized, hybridized in some ways, right? So for instance, just now the video you watched is the zhou. And then in China, they will use something called a winter leaf, whereas in Singapore, we use the banana leaf, right? So it's a very Nanyang or even Singapore kind of local flavor already, right? So why do I use this angle? Or maybe some about behind the scenes, why do I do this documentary film in this way, right? So basically, I highlighted different clans and different foods from their clan, like their clan members will make it, right? So the idea of it is to show people that different districts have their own local produce and their very unique histories. And so, some people might ask me, like, oh, there's so many clans in Singapore. Like in the past we have 500 over, and then now we have 200 plus. Why can't we have them as an umbrella, right? Just combine everything, right? But the main argument I'll make is that you'll be losing a lot of diversity, and it's the granularity that is so important, right? Well, this dumpling in from my ancestral hometown, this one is definitely not related to QiYuan, like the Toyet you all usually know that's related to dumpling festivals. No, this is totally not. This is related to Bao Qingtian, okay, the magistrate Bao from the Song dynasty. And we do not eat it during dumpling festival, not Duanwujie. We eat it during Chinese New Year, right? Because that's also one of the periods of time where he sort of near the period of time where he left the place from our hometown, right? So there's a different stories to it. So this is just an example of one particular clan. Can you imagine how much more can we dig out from so many clans that we have, right? There's a lot of diversity. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think I know what you're thinking right now. So how can I be invited to such events, right? Okay. To be honest, I often hear people say, like, oh, why should I join clans? What is it in for me, right? So I don't really like this kind of a culture, because, like, how many of you agree, right? There are too many takers in society thinking about me, rather than how can I contribute, right? So I want to change the ecosystem for the better, to reward givers. So guess what? I make such events a clan member privilege only, right? Why? Because the very core to ensure continuity in clans is succession. And we need people to share the same goal. So slowly, events after events, I started to get new youth members involved, and we built our core team. And so what was initially planned to be just this simpler documentary film, right, to film all these dishes, became something much bigger, right? That's the Whole Year Festival. Okay, Whole Year Festival. Okay, I'm looking at the time as well, because I got quite a lot of content to go through, but never mind. Let's have a quick one. Yep, so can you believe it? This was the first ever Cantonese and Hakka festival held in Singapore. And it's organized by a young girl who doesn't know how to speak Cantonese. Okay, but of course, this was made possible by 18 organizations and over 100 youth volunteers, and we attracted over 1,000 members of public. So it's a first ever, and we got featured a number of times on like MCCY's publication and also on ZHOU. And really, you know, we started with zero. We started with zero money. Started getting a bit of grants here and there, but mostly, of course, you know, grants only give a small portion, and the rest you have to go and like either you stomach it or you go and find help, right? So, and I think that even though this is a Cantonese and Hakka festival, we have a lot of friends who are Teochews, Hokkiens, Hainanese coming to help, right? So I hope by now you already have a sense of what my stand is. Okay, my stand is not about saying okay, which dialect group is better, or like which clan association is better, right? My whole idea is that we are stronger together. And by embracing and appreciating our diversity, we are stronger with our diversity, right? So I guess that's why also a lot of my friends resonated and we came together to do this together. Yeah. Okay, so then quickly moving on. So just now what I introduced to you was more of the locality-based clans. But of course, there are many other clans as well. And this is the second type of clan I like to introduce to you. And what I was also introduced to was the kinship-based clans, right? I believe like many youths, maybe you already have family members who are already clan members, and maybe you just go there and then you like play your handphone and then just wait for time to pass, when can we go back home kind of thing. Can you believe it? It was the same for me, right? I mean, I have vague impression of going to the clan, maybe I think some dinner or something like that, but I don't really, in a sense, don't really care much, I'm just there, but I don't know, what am I doing there, right? So, but when I started to change my mindset in 2017 and to do more stuff, and that's when my horizons opened and started to see things differently. And I started connecting with this particular clan, because I knew that in 2017 there was reports that this is going to be demolished to build a high rise, and hence I decided that okay, let me do some research. And then after that I conducted a series of tours for heritage enthusiasts to visit this place for the last time. And I'm not sure how many of you know this particular clan used to house FEIHUNG, okay, one of the famous painters, Chinese painters of the era. Okay, where did he live? He lived in this unit. Okay, and I had the privilege to go there before it was demolished. Okay, so it's more of like how can we do more than we think we can, right? So that was a period of time was during like Qing period. So it was also a very interesting way of how I get to retrace my own ancestral roots through this kinship-based clan. And of course, then I become a member. And it exposed me to a lot of things, right? I went for this World Huang Clan Conference in 2017, and this was in Wenzhou with my parents. By the way, if you're wondering why is there a Huang kind of thing here, yeah, that is my surname. Okay, and why is everyone wearing yellow? Because our surname is yellow. Yeah, so it's quite cute. And then it's not just China. I mean, because you usually think that, okay, let's trace our roots, we go back to China. But guess what? We went to Korea. Ta-da! Why? Korea also have Huang's. Yeah, it's a world conference. So we get to go to Korea, and it's a very interesting ancestral veneration. I should really show you a snippet of right.
의자에 계신 분 자리에 앉아주시기 바랍니다.
It's conducted in Korean and also Chinese.
行出现礼。接着引出现官怂位前跪。殿爵奉斩反受出现官。世尊奉佐正酒于禅。
Yeah, so basically this is the ritual, and then you see us paying respects, and when this place is actually one of the Korean prime ministers in the past, and he's a surname Kwong. So we're there. So it's very interesting how, like even though we are in a sense ethnic Chinese because we share the same surname, right? But we have different rituals in order to remember our ancestors, right? So it's very interesting when you explore kinship-based clans as well. So yeah, as I told you, we are all wearing, our surname is Huang, right? So we all wear yellow caps. Okay, yes, okay. And then the third kind of clan in Singapore would be the trade-based clan. I had this privilege also to go to, in 2019, I went to Shunde, Guangzhou. So if you know Shunde, that is really the place for the gastronomical, it's a gastronomical district in a sense. A lot of the famous chefs come from the place. So who did I go with? Well, of course, I have to go with a trade-based clan related to food. And so I went with Kusu Hang. So Kusu Hang is I think they're more than 100 years old, 147 or something like that, year-old clan. And I mean, that very name Kusu is linked to a group of chefs back in the ZHOU dynasty, the Eastern ZHOU dynasty, 春秋时代. So it's very interesting how there's different kind of clans, and of course then when I went there, we get to enjoy lots of interesting foods. And who will I go with? Of course, with a lot of this the boss of the restaurants and something like Wen Dongji lah, Human all this. Yeah, so it's a very interesting experience. Okay, yeah. Then after that, I started to, I want to do more for clans. I cannot be just doing the same thing right over and over again. So I have to pick up new skills, and that's when I became more serious and got help through Singapore Heritage Society, and I had the privilege to be supervised by Dr. Vivian Wee, who is a very famous anthropologist, and also Dr. Chua Lin on this ethnographic research, where we looked at more than 14 places of worship. Okay, in total 21, but then I was looking after 14, and amongst them, a lot of them were clan associations as well as temples related to clans. And so that's where I began this journey to really look more in depth at the academic level to better understand the challenges and needs of the stakeholders. So I also got to learn more about these localities, not just Cantonese. Because if you look previously, I was more focused at just a Cantonese locality, but from there I got to also interact with the Hakkas, also the Hokkiens, and Teochews as well. And then that was what I was doing for locality based, right? So I started thinking, can I do similarly for the kinship based clans, right? And so that's where I started to do this in-depth ethnographic research for them. And for me, academic research is just the beginning to relationship building, right? So one of the clans that was part of my research was this ZHOU Gun, okay, Xinzhou, Jiu Guotang, Cao Jia Guan. So I got in touch with them in 2019. And that was a year when they were thinking, should they hold their 200th anniversary? Okay, so they were having dinner because there was some academics who were suggesting the actual founding of the clan is not without evidence.
Then should we keep this jar?
But then from a ethnographic perspective, stakeholders' views matter, right? So then there's a lot of long-standing narratives of this community. And I mean, the clan even have a grave, there's even an urn in the columbarium, as well as an ancestral tablet for the founder, right? So for me, it's a matter of respect. Right? You cannot just say that this clan is baseless. I mean, people venerate it, so how can you do that? How can you say that? So I said, I'm glad they went ahead with this celebration. And then knowing that this clan, ZHOU Gun, is like a sister clan with Ningyong Wei Gun, another Cantonese clan, because they were founded by the same founder. Okay, so I planned and helped to organize a Toisanese cooking demonstration for these stakeholders to come together, right? Because after all, they're siblings. So we also made it in the newspapers. I mean, I'm glad it was shared because this is really one of the historical landmarks for these two clans as well. Because one was 200 years old, and then the other, which is founded in 1822, will be 200 years old next year, right? Okay, and then what are some of my other upcoming projects? So I feel that I was shared with you on the Qixi Festival, the Seven Sisters Festival. Now I'm working with Li Guoliang, so Mr. Li Guoliang, to actually do a publication. Hopefully it will come out next year. We're still looking for grants. And then also, it's like a full circle. I also start to think, can I do more for the traditional Chinese martial arts scene, right? Because to speak the truth, I've been interviewed many times regards to martial arts. But I realized that to some extent, it's important for insiders to do the work. Because do you agree? Like many times we do not know what we do not know, right? So I feel that as a practitioner in this martial arts scene, I think it's very much misunderstood, and I should help to be that voice. So that's also a project that I'm embarking on, and I hope to get some grants for that as well. Because if not, it's just free work. Okay, so my journey has also become our journey, in some sense, right? Our journey. It was you, me. Yeah, we can be a part of it, right? So I'd like to share with you some of how other youths also start to connect with their own roots. Okay, so some questions. Okay, what if I'm Cantonese but I'm not part of a clan? Okay, these are some common questions. Okay, let me give you an example of Jerome Lau. Okay, he came to me in 2019 October. He was a NTU design student and was doing an FYP. Okay, so he came to me. He was trying to find ideas. He wanted to do something Cantonese, but he did not know what to do. Okay, and then after that, I say, okay, why not you come for my whole year festival meeting, because we are planning for the next season, right? And then maybe you can think of some of designs, right? So then after that, he came also in January 2020, and then he started to have this presentation to the other community members to present his ideas, and then of course we give his feedback. And finally, just recently also he shared, like, oh, hi Lynn, hope you're doing well. Okay, the report went well, and thank you for all your help for letting me interview you and being part of whole year. I got A+ for my FYP, right? Final year project, right? So it was really well deserved. Look at his design. It's wonderful, don't you think so? Right. So this is the upcoming design that we'll be using for this upcoming whole year festival. So he's the designer for us. It's beautiful, much better than the past one when I did it on my own because not enough money, right? Do everything on my own. Right. So it's wonderful, and of course, please do check out his link. There's much more fantastic stuff. Okay, another question: what if I'm not Cantonese or from any clan? Okay, let me give you an example of Mei-An. So I knew her mom before that because I attended one of her mom. So her mom is a CME1. So I attended her talk back in 2018. And then I was thinking, okay, because I'm starting to plan for the next season of whole year. So I was thinking maybe her talk is suitable for whole year festival. And so I met up with her in 2019 to discuss possibility for collaboration. And you see that I met her in April 2019, and this post that she made was in June 16, right? So so the story is that she would call the daughter to do a gap year and discover new things before she goes off to uni, but didn't expect her to really get into Cantonese opera. And then really the entire family, my grandparents, aunts and uncles, they were there through the 3.5 hours performance, not knowing what was going on, but it was a hoot nonetheless. Yeah, so thanks Lynn for dragging her into this over coffee. A casual remark that her opera troupe was in need of one extra maiden, right? So heartened that young people around who are interested in continuing heritage and hopefully not so dying art. Yeah, so that was just the beginning, right? What happened next? So in August 2019, we met up again over coffee, right? Because I was organizing a guided tour, and then I wanted to invite Siew Wang's mom, Siew, over, because they co-write the book, The House on Palmer Road. So where we are there is Palmer Road. So we wanted, I mean, this place has already changed totally, right? So trying to use this kind of oral histories to share with audiences what was life back then. Yeah, so during that coffee, I'm glad Mei-An came along. And so she went through this whole opera experience, and she wanted to do more for the clan. So she asked me, so what can I do? I say, you know what? Gong Zhao's 180th anniversary is coming up in 2020. Maybe, with the artistic talents, we can do something, right? And so guess what? This is one of her artworks. So there's this digital artwork she made. It was a special art tribute for Gong Zhao Wei Gun, 180th anniversary by Mei-An. So she described her first experience, right? When I first stepped into Gong Zhao Wei Gun, I never knew I could be accepted wholeheartedly and immersed in this heritage from day one, nor be so involved in its anniversaries. I am Teochew and could not speak Cantonese. And yet, here I was going for rehearsals for the Clan House Chinese opera performance in 2019. So this picture recalls my story and that of many young members. It captures the curiosity and wonder as one enters a historical monument. And this artwork also marks the start of the series that brings viewers through various parts of the Gong Zhao Wei Gun. Yep. So this is the first one, and you can take a look at this is the first story, the first level of Gong Zhao Wei Gun. And then the second level, right? You can spot her also. I mean, the turquoise shirt she is in, that's her. And then the third floor where we have our lion dance and martial arts. And of course, the fourth floor is the rooftop where we also train our martial arts, right? So I was really glad that she did it because, as you all know, 2020 was the year of COVID struck, right? So it was supposed to be a huge celebration for Gong Zhao Wei Gun. But because of COVID, everything had to be cancelled. So I'm glad in some sense that this youth have stepped up to do what she can to help celebrate the clan anniversary in the way that she's best at, right? So this digital artwork, and I hope one day we can have a real physical artwork to display what she has done. Yep. Okay. Another question. What if I'm not Chinese? Okay. I like to share that I've got friends who are also not Chinese, okay, who are in the clans. Okay, so this is Joshua, okay, Joshua Benjamin, okay. He does our drums, and he was also part of our lion dance competition, and he was a drummer as well, okay. And then this is Govin, okay. He has also been in our clan for some time, and this is a video shoot by by China. Okay, and then he was representing our clan for the interview, right? Okay, so it's not a token kind of thing, okay? They really have been there for a very long time. Yeah. Okay, what if I do not know where my ancestors come from? Okay, this is a very common question a lot of people ask me. Okay, I will say one word, ask. Okay, it was one full circle for me. And do you agree? No, sometimes it's not about whether you know how to do it. It's more about taking action. Right? I mean, I know how to do it, right? I know how I got the connections and everything. I could have find it easily, but I didn't take action, right? So personally, it was when my grandfather passed away that I asked my dad to ask my granduncle, where are we from, right? Right? So that's when I realized that, oh, I'm from Sanheng, Xiu Heng. And the story of how I got to connect back in my own clan was that even though I was awarded conferred award in 2016, I was given the award physically in 2017. And right after receiving the award, I remember very fondly that when I came down, because there's a lot of tables, because a banquet was being held. And I mean, I know a lot of these people down there as well. So I went around to like say thank you. And I went to this table, it was for Bishanting. And this uncle Pang先生, he say, hey, so where are you from? I say, oh, I'm from Sanheng. He say, oh gosh, okay, let me connect you back with your own clan, right? So it's very interesting how finally, after how many years, more than 10 years, that I finally get to connect back with my own town clan. And this picture you see here, this is the clan premise, and the clan venerates what we call the sixth patriarch, 六祖慧能, right? So it's very interesting how, because when you realize that since young I like a lot of movies. So there's this particular movie that I watched when I was young. It's about 六祖慧能. And this particular Zen philosophy, right? 菩提本无树，明镜亦非台，本来无一物，何处惹尘埃? I mean, basically meaning like nothingness. Okay, to put it simply, in Zen Buddhism. And so it's so interesting. I realized, I like this movie. I mean, I was from there. I mean, my hometown is from there, right? So the moral of the story is, if you do not ask, if you don't know, just ask, right? Okay, I'll be very fast. Okay, what if I want to find out more about my grandparents? Okay, I will not show this video because this video you can watch it online. It's called Remember Our House by CNA. So particularly, there's this story about this. I mean, this guy, Douglas Lang, he came to me. He was trying to find out more about his grandfather because he was going through the belongings, clearing his belongings of the grandfather when he passed on. And he found his book. And so he brought it to me to ask me more. So after that, we get to connect with the clan. And then he got to meet up with a particular person who interacted with and knew his grandfather before, right? So it's a very fascinating journey. So, I mean, what's the moral of the story, right? Is that when someone passes on in your family, please do not throw things out like just unknowingly. Please go through stuff slowly because you do not know what piece of history about yourself you are throwing out, right? So it's these little things. Okay, we'll try to finish in another 5 minutes. Okay. What if I'm already in a clan? Okay. I think the moral story is to leverage on resources you have and let more people know about it. Because maybe you have everything already, but what you need is just someone to motivate you to, or maybe steer you in the right direction to do something. So, example of this story. Okay, this is Madam Chin Lai Yin. So this lady in pink. Okay, so she's from Ningyang Huiguan. I mean, she's been cooking these dishes in her family for it's in her family for 4 generations, right? She's been doing it. And sometimes, a lot of times, the biggest obstacle, right, is self-limiting beliefs. So for her, right, she shared with me like her children were not even interested. So why would anyone be interested in her story, right? So what she needs is really like a boost of confidence and affirmation, right? So I'm glad that she participated in this Singapore Heritage Fest this season's one. So you can check out from this website, or you just Google Our Roots and Foods and Singapore Heritage Fest, you'll find the video. And that's where I think someone just now asking, can we get recipes of these old dishes, the traditional dishes? Yes, just go to the link and then you will find the video cooking demo accompanied with the recipe and how to do it. Okay, so this is also some of the ways we're trying to make heritage more accessible. Right, so I'm glad to share that after all this, Madam Chin's children and also her grandchildren have grown even more curious about her life and their roots and the stories behind these heritage dishes that they've grown up eating, but they didn't really appreciate. Okay, another one. This is a story of a youth. So if you're already in a clan, please look deeply into your assets. And when I say assets, I do not mean property or cash in hand. What I mean is your precious records. So And if you do not know something, if you do not know what it means, please do not throw it out. Ask, okay? Consult someone, okay? The worst case scenario is that you are throwing stuff out as if they're trash when they're actually treasures, okay? So of course, I want to ensure that my clan assets are protected and documented. So that's when I gathered my clan youth to come together and go to clan to check out some stuff, and this is his reaction.
These are from inside, right?
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't even recognize myself after so many years. The picture was too blurred.
How old were you then?
Might be 8, maybe.
8 years old? Which ones you point out? Point yourself out. Which one? And there's your sister? Where's your sister?
This one is my sister.
Uh-huh.
This one is my brother.
Uh-huh.
This one my father.
Ah.
I think I remember this scenario, but I can't. It was so fake. So fake. It was already fake away. But only when my sister can recognize, she got better than me. Yeah. Oh, she don't remember this. Why are we there? Why are we there here? I think it's some
The Hui Qing.
teaching.
Yes, the Hui Qing.
Yep. So basically, this is reaction, right? And by the way, okay, Jack is my clan youth head, and he has been in the clan since 8 years old, okay, around 8 years old. And now he's already in the 40s, right? So, what do these little photos, just this single photo means a lot to him already, right? So can you imagine much more stuff that is in the clan, right? So please, if you're in the clan, please look after your assets.
These are
Okay, what if I'm shy? Okay. Okay, I'll just go through this quickly. So for instance, if you want to have a quick understanding of what clans are, you can go and visit this virtual exhibition that is available online, sfcca.sg. Find New Life Tour. Okay, so basically I curated this tour back in 2018, and it was for the clans, the Singapore Federation of Chinese Clan Associations, their bicentennial celebration. And then I also trained other students as docents, and they helped to also guide the interviews like President Halimah Yacob and also Minister Ong Yi Kang. Right, so of course, but the best way to do research is always not just desktop research, but also complement it with field work. Face-to-face interaction is very important. Okay, so I'm glad that the exhibition has been digitized, so you can actually see it online now. But of course, I always prefer the in-person. So this is okay. I will not want to show you a video, but anyway, these are my students, and if you are shy, it can be trained. Okay, I'm also an introvert. Okay, my students, they were also not comfortable giving tours to people. But okay, let me just show you a very short snippet because they are very natural. Oh, let me see, just here. Okay, just here.
We are now ready to set sail to Shilepo. Wipe your tears and take your luggages. We are now going on board the ship.
Yep, so then you go in.
You have already signed your contract. I don't need to pretend to be a good person anymore. You will be locked up in the lowest deck of the cabin together with all these laborers. This is the floating hell.
You will now be experiencing what it is like to be locked at the bottom of the cabin. The voyage may be rough at sea, so please watch your steps. This way, please.
So then the audiences will be guided into this place that is really moving. So it's really like on board the ship. Okay, but I don't want to show you everything. But basically, these are students. They are secondary school students, okay? And they have gained the confidence to reach out to people and stuff like that. So these are other ways to connect the room. Okay, let me just quickly go. Okay. Just now I've been asking you, what if, I'm this and what. Let me ask you again. What if you will never have a chance again? Okay, so often we often take things for granted, and it's only when they're gone we start regretting. This photo is of Mr. Zhang Wenke. He is from the Capital Restaurant, which is now closed already. But before that, in 2017, I interviewed him, and he helped me recreate this Chen Pi Ya, so this Mandarin peel duck, and the thing was that later, a few months later, he passed on due to cancer because he had some lung cancer for a long time. And I was able to bring the DVD of the documentary film to his wake. It really makes you feel that there's some things cannot wait. You might not have a tomorrow, so just do what you can right now. Okay. So how do you want to remember? Right. Okay. So now I circle back to the Kwong Lee Clan Association. So this is a picture of Madam Lee Sui-ha. She is the vice chairperson of this clan. She's pointing out to one of the photographs that I helped digitally restore recently. And she recounted the story of this lady, this portrait of this lady is her Bao Zhu, her landlord, who lived below in the rented place she grew up in. So Madam Lee, she loves singing a lot, and she had to befriend one of the landlord's child to open the door at night, so that when she comes knocking, someone will open the door. But of course, later, due to urban development, people moved out, and she lost contact with this family for decades. And so it's until recently when the grandson of this landlord saw Madam Lee on a Tuesday Report, so 星期二特写 television documentary series, did he get curious because he actually heard this name in the family many, many times. So he tried to connect via the clan because one of the scenes was taken in the clan. So then after a generation, right, this landlord's children finally reconnected with Madam Lee. And so only a few months ago, so when the family visited the clan, they were so happy to see the landlord's portrait hung on the wall, right? And so happy that they also joined the clan. So it's really nice to know that your loved one is still remembered by the community after so many years. And the thing is that the clan has recently fundraised to make a total revamp of all the old photographs. Because over the years, as you can see from this photograph, it's been damaged by water seepage. And also a lot of them, for the portraits, they might be sort of like, in a sense, disfigured. So what I'm trying to bring across is that we are that generation when things are disappearing so fast. And if we do not do our part to pass down what we know, or what we could have been in a position to know, right? Because as time passes, the lesser information you get, right? So then, are we doing our future generations a huge disservice, right? How do you want to be remembered? And you too, right? Just like how you attended this event, you can be history in the making, right? Okay, so my very last slide. So this is a post that I made back in May 7, 2017, okay? This was also, I think, one of the first times I came to the clan. They happened this event where Madam Lee Sui-ha was talking about Samsung women, and then Mr. Li Benji was doing calligraphy, and so he was writing these two phrases, 千里之行始于足下, right? 1,000 steps starts with the first step, and this resonated with me a lot. So you can see like this unexpected gift from the 李氏书士 and inspirational words that resonated with me. With my current stage of life greatly. Right? Because, I mean, as you know, 2017, that was when I just started out doing all these things. Right? So I'm glad that Kwong Lee Clan Association has been holding such regular cultural events. And I'm very privileged to, after approximately 4 years now, be back at this clan, even though not physically, but virtually in some sense, now in the capacity as a speaker rather than a participant, to share my experiences with you all. So, my question to you is, what will be your first step? Okay, and this picture is still hung in my room now. Every day I wake up, so this is my bed. Every day I wake up, the first thing I see is these two lines. Yep, so thank you very much. And I will pass my time back to Yan Chang. Thank you very much. I think I went a bit overboard.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Yeah, that was an amazing talk. Yeah, I personally have so much takeaway from it. I believe that a lot of people looking at the chat, I think most of us agree that it has been a mind-changing experience.